Hey everyone, it's Savannah, and today we are working on my fall island cinnamon. I'm going to be building my villager neighborhood in the bottom left portion of my map, and here is the start of what I have done so far. I've begun laying out a path, and then there's this overlook of this cool kind of cul-de-sac on the lower level, and I plan on putting 2 villager houses there. I'm not quite sure what to put on this upper level to look over onto the cul-de-sac, so if you have any ideas for that, let me know. But anyway, I imagine the road winding along and then there being this bridge, and then I had originally had these roads connected with a diagonal, but I have instead decided to make it loop around the houses. So now I'm just going to continue the path. And by the way, I'll have all the codes I'm using listed in the description below, so please feel free to use these codes. Thank you to all of the amazing creators who made all of the wonderful codes I'm using in this video. They have made decorating this island so exciting, and I really love using street paths. I just find them so satisfying to lay down, so I really enjoy making islands like this. I'm gonna extend a street path coming from where I know the bridge will be, and I'm going to extend this over to the right side where I have my diagonal road started, and then that is going to connect on over to an incline that leads down to the lower level and will loop back to resident services. So this is likely like the end part of my island that you would be seeing when walking through it. So just extending this sidewalk all the way across, and then I am going to map out where another villager home is going to go. My goal for this upper section of the island was to be able to fit 4 houses, and based on the lines I mapped out, I'll be able to do that. So I went ahead and moved Silvana up here. I've wanted to have Silvana as a villager for quite some time, so I'm so excited she was able to move on to Cinnamon, and I love the exterior of her home for this island. I think the door color looks especially pretty with all the cedar trees. I don't have Happy Home Paradise access on this island, so I'm unable to customize the houses for this island. So when I'm choosing my villagers for this island, I like to consider the exteriors of their home as well. So along the left side of Silvana's home, I'm just making a little diagonal path that kind of loops around, and this will kind of just circle around her house and kind of frame off the rest of the neighborhood. After I made the diagonal path, I noticed that the pathing looked a little wonky with the edge of the cliff, so I went in with my terraforming tool and just extended the cliff out so I have a little bit more space on the side of the road to decorate. I decided to move Maple up into the neighborhood, and then I ended up skipping to the next day in game, and for some reason my Nook's Cranny upgraded. I did not want it to upgrade on this island, so I'm really disappointed. I don't know why it did that because I haven't been purchasing things in it. This happened before on my other island. I don't know why it upgrades when I haven't been shopping at it. Does it count when your villagers shop in it? I don't know. So I decided to move Pearl down into the cul-de-sac just to get my villagers starting to be moved to their new places. And here is what the cul-de-sac looks like. I have to move on to decorating that another time, so that'll be in another video. So now that I have 2 homes moved in, I'm gonna start framing the area with different sizes of trees, and I go through a lot of playing back and forth with different sizes of trees until I find a look that I'm satisfied with. So I'm gonna edit a little bit of that out because I tend to plant a tree and then re-dig it up and move it and then plant it, and then I usually end up putting it back where it was the first time. So I'm just gonna edit some of that out so it's not so much of me just digging and moving trees around. But a good rule of thumb I like to stick with when planting trees to kind of frame areas like this is to use shorter trees in the front and taller trees towards the back, because this gives the illusion of the trees getting bigger as they go farther away, and it helps to have the larger items towards the back of your frame so that they're not blocking anything in the view. Of course, I don't always stick to these rules, but generally that's a good rule of thumb if you are wondering how I go about planting the trees. Another thing I try to do is to look for the space in between the trees and try to fill everything so that you kind of won't be able to see the street behind it. So I'm going to be adding in some fence and also more trees to kind of block off this front street from that back section. All right, so I'm gonna start laying down some pathing in front of Maple's house because she's a fall queen and she needs this gorgeous fall path in front of her house. So just gonna be filling up her yard with this. Whenever I'm making a path like this, I try to make it as windy and as interesting looking as possible. So just trying to create lots of shape. And then I'm going in with these little planks to kind of add little stepping stones. Taking a break from Maple's yard and moving over to Silvana's, I have this really gorgeous crochet blanket code that I think matches Silvana's door perfectly. So I decided to give her a little picnic nook right next to her house. Next, I'm just gonna start filling in the area with a bunch of decorations. I started adding some little plushies to this little picnic area, and I'm gonna kind of make it like a little reading area, so just adding in a book, and then I added in the wild log bench, and I decided to put a blanket code underneath of it. I've been loving this layered blanket code pretty much under everything. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. I decided to put a little Zen cushion under our baby bear because he just looked like he needed to be a little bit more cozy. I love adding in the tiny library in any neighborhood build, and I thought the colors were just perfect for the little build here. I've now moved on back over to Maple's yard, and I'm just gonna start adding in some decor. I also went back in and added some shrubs to fill up the area. Alright, I went ahead and time traveled to the 16th of November, the perfect fall day in Animal Crossing. And let's take a look at how my island's looking. This is my first time seeing it in the autumn glory. All right, so here is part of the neighborhood. We have lovely little Maple's house. I decided to switch out the leaves there. And here's the final look. And then here we have Silvana's house, very cute. I'm excited to continue working on the rest of the neighborhood. I'm happy with the amount of progress I was able to get done today. This build took me about 2 hours. Once again, stay tuned for continuation of the rest of this neighborhood build. If you did enjoy this video, I would so appreciate it if you took a second to like and subscribe. Sound off in the comments below about what you guys think of this build, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!